What's up, ladies and gentlemen, SpadeWant, and welcome back to some more Metal Gear Rising. And with that said, let's just continue. Onward. Yeah, the horse would start when he kills. Let's deal with you. I'll take that. Who's next? You alright? These flying guys can be kind of annoying though. I think that's everyone for the time being. Oh, there it is. Alright, what we got? Some more hate speed stuff. I guess I'll just put that on for now.
So that's where they're holed up.
Some kind of electronic lock on the gate.
Most likely it opens only if you have the right ID data stored in your left hand. Perhaps you could find a cyborg with access and borrow it?
You see any cyborgs around here, Doc?
Why not double back? Check the vehicle route again. You know, back at the entrance to the old city. Who knows? Maybe you can hitch a ride. Most likely, platoon commanders carry correct ID data for the gate. Use enhanced mode to figure out who to hit.
How the hell is it just up there?
I got him! Enemy sighted!
Right, you missed them all? Well, you just have to fight your way through.
Whatever. I think we got what we needed anyway. Or not, alright. Alright, let's just restart. Since it doesn't seem like it's working.
Someone there?
I wonder if we have to get past them actually. I'm guessing we probably just have to sneak past these guys. But clearly my first attempt seems like it just been terrible. And we can't actually go across that. And there's just 2 guys left. Oh, he's going up. Okay. Fine by me.
That's my boy.
Did I get it?
Bravo!
I did.
Excellent work. There was classified data embedded in that hand. It appears that man underwent modification at the Patriot facility, just as you did.
Yeah, I guess I just completely forgot what you had to actually do there. I think I didn't get that chest, I was for the second time. Might as well go ahead and grab it. Again. Now this is just gonna be a battlefield. I'll take that. You're done. And that wraps up that, I guess. And before we actually continue, let's actually talk to the others for a bit.
So I get past the gate and into the hotel. Then what?
This road ends at the hotel. Enter and you should be able to reach a hill from the roof. That hotel was used by the Nomenklatura, high-ranking Communist Party bureaucrats. All destroyed now, of course, but in Soviet days, full of luxury. Anyway, you should be able to reach a hill from hotel roof. There are more Soviet ruins past that hill. Get through there, and you will reach the rear of the refinery.
Head for the hotel roof. Got it.
Dryden, we are clear on the rules of engagement, yes?
Clear enough. I can use deadly force against any hostile elements. Hostile cyborgs, I can strike first.
Basically, yes. The actual rules of engagement is more specific. A long list of no's. But you have the idea.
You want to recap the highlights for me?
No weapons prohibited by international treaty. No use of force against non-combatants, especially officials or anyone with political power who may be needed for negotiations. No use of force against any unarmed hostile seeking to surrender. And no use of force against any non-cyborg combatants without prior verbal warning.
And that includes Dolzaev?
Duh, but this should not be a problem. Any non-cyborg is little threat to you, Dolzaev included. Besides, we have no signs of any non-cyborg hostiles anywhere in the area. Not even one. We think Dolzaev is working alone with Desperado here. In any case, that is the ROE. Otherwise, deadly force is authorized only in clear case of self-defense.
So basically, civilians off limits, human hostiles verbal warning, hostile cyborgs, anything goes.
Yes, this is a conventional warfare scenario, so the rules are based on the Hague Convention.
Yeah, sounds pretty standard. Still good to list out all the no-nos before things get too hairy. ROEs that only specify who you can engage require too much judgment. They make it harder to remain focused on battle.
Duh. This is why most militaries' ROEs list negatives, not positives. The few that take the other approach, I pity their soldiers the questions they face. Oh, and for our purposes, UGs are considered the same as hostile cyborgs.
Copy that.
We have no rules about property damage, but keep it minimal, yes? It just makes us look bad. Anything standing in your way, trees, streetlights, this is fine. But there's no reason to damage civilian homes, or to go snooping around in them.
Goes without saying. Hey Boris, about the Soliton radar. I noticed that it doesn't get jammed anymore, even if I get spotted by the enemy. Back in the old days, it'd be useless the second an alarm was triggered.
Well, once the Patriots fell, classified technology spread all over the world. This new Soliton radar is one example. By applying a non-linear Schrödinger equation to the Soliton solution, they were able to prevent the jamming that plagued the original models based off the KDV equation.
I'm impressed. You know your stuff, Mr. President.
Of course, I'm a businessman. You think I could run a profitable PMSC without being up to date on the latest tech?
But I wonder, how exactly is the equation different? I mean, I'm no expert on how the KDV equation was implemented in the first place, but I'd love to know how the Schrödinger equation fits into all this.
Raiden, on battlefield, most important thing is how to use equipment, not theory behind it. The mission is #1 priority. So do not worry your head about equations and such things. Just concentrate on using the equipment to your advantage, da?
In other words, you have absolutely no idea, do you?
Ah, the mission, Raiden. Focus on the mission.
Sure thing. After we're done talking to everyone. For a while. I can't believe just listening to these. Even though it can get boring at times, it is a nice break from combat from time to time.
Raiden, what I said about staying focused on the mission.
Understood. No need to explain.
I say this because I have been there. I have let my emotions take over on the battlefield. Some of the PMC work I did after my discharge was... they were gray area jobs. But that's all in the past. When I took on those former PLA soldiers to form Maverick, I laid out my conditions. We would only take operations we believed in, and we would run them clean, no exceptions. Most of them agreed. They had their own bad memories from their time in Paradise Lost.
I can certainly attest to that.
Yes, of course. I forget who I'm talking with. Most of the ex-PLA have moved on now in any case. But the point remains the same. Everyone at Maverick is accountable for their actions. We are clear to take this job under international law, and we can use force against any cyborg hostiles under the basic rules of engagement. But remember, if we harm any civilians, on purpose or no, it will mean trouble. All kinds of trouble. So, stay in control and stay on mission.
Got it.
I would like the boss once more, and then we'll move to Kevin.
Didn't you say you'd been here before, Boris?
Once, back when it was still Soviet territory.
Seems like it'd be a lovely place, if it weren't a war zone.
The Pearl of the Black Sea, they called it, back when more Russians lived there. It was a very popular resort spot for the USSR. This is before the wall fell, of course. Then Russia and Georgia began to fight over the area.
Kicking off the war in the early 90s.
Georgia was a Soviet republic. Abkhazia, a semi-autonomous state within it. The Soviets liked to stoke ethnic rivalries between the two. And not just there, in all the outlying territories. It kept them easier to control.
But with the Russians no longer watching over the two.
Duh. The Abkhaz were scared. They knew an independent Georgia would swallow their nation sooner or later. So they took advantage of a Georgian military coup to declare their own independence in '92. Of course, the new Georgian government was not happy to hear this, and so...
The same old story.
And with Russia supporting the Abkhaz, it was a stalemate. 2 years later, the ceasefire meant Abkhazia was finally independent, but not officially. They still are not formally recognized by Georgia, or most of the international community.
This region is filled with breakaway states.
This is true. There is South Ossetia, also in Georgia. Transnistria in East Moldova, and Nagorno-Karabakh, which broke from Azerbaijan. In any case, even Russia did not officially recognize Abkhazia as independent until 2008. So it was not long ago Sukhumi was a war zone. It has changed dramatically since then. They have been rebuilding steadily, with Russian support, ever since SLP was shut down.
Good to hear. But doesn't that leave them wrapped around Russia's little finger?
It does. Which is why Dolzaev is calling for a truly independent state. He wants an Abkhazia that takes orders from no one. Not Georgia, not Moscow.
Sounds like a worthy cause.
Duh. But many Abkhaz are happy with the reconstruction Russian support makes possible. Few of his fellow countrymen were interested in what Dolzaev had to say. At first.
And then Desperado showed up.
Exactly. They brought the sad ending to this little history lesson. It is no wonder so many people mistrust PMCs, eh?
I suppose not. Kev, let's go over everything we have on Desperado.
Roger that. Let's see here. Desperado Enforcement, LLC. Registered in the U.S., Delaware.
Makes sense. The U.S. doesn't regulate PMCs too closely.
Looks like almost all of their actual business is handled outside the States, though. Says here their financials are handled by a separate company based in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The preferred tax haven of megacorps everywhere.
Probably why they incorporated in Delaware in the first place. Loose tax laws. Funneling it all through the Caribbean must help with the money laundering, though. There's still a lot we don't know about them, but they've definitely been starting a lot of fires lately. They're a PMC in name only. What a name it is. Guess War Profiteers Incorporated was taken. But that's their business. In a nutshell, target war-torn nations on the road to peace. Reignite conflicts, and walk off with all the cash that was earmarked for reconstruction. They also have ties to the drug trade, human trafficking.
Sounds like a real class act.
So does.
We've confirmed 3 key captains in Desperado. Their code names are all wind-themed. The captain presiding over this coup is called Mistral.
Cyborg?
Yep. All 3 have got custom-made bodies. Collectively, they're known as the Winds of Destruction.
The what? They all have action figures too?
You're one to talk, Mr. Lightning Bolt.
Who told you?
Courtney. Now that sounds like an action figure.
I didn't choose it, trust me.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I doubt the Winds of Destruction picked their names either. Different cultures use language differently. Even ones with a decent command of English. As you can attest, Mr. LB.
The name does kind of sound like an action figure, though.
Sorry, man, but I have to ask. Where did Mr. Lightning Bolt come from anyway?
Ugh, seriously? All right. Well, I told you where I got Raiden from, right? World War II, the Japanese had a plane called Raiden. The Allies named it Jack.
Yeah, I remember.
And my real name's Jack. So yeah, they codenamed me Raiden.
They being the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Never really suited me. But it's better than... Jack just reminds me too much of the past.
I hear you.
Someone once told me, you can find your own name, and your own future. After that, I dropped Jack for good.
Right. And this lightning bolt business?
Well, the Rai part of Raiden means thunder, and Den is electric. So Raiden is basically lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was explaining that to Inmani, and he just busted out laughing.
So he called you that as a joke? He was basically just giving you shit.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty good sense of humor. He was one of the most charismatic men I'd ever met. I don't know much about politics, but being around him, you could just tell he was a natural leader.
Such a goddamn shame.
Mm-hmm. I won't let it happen again. Desperado ends here. Comic book villains and all.
Yeah. We're counting on you, Mr. Lightning Bolt.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're going there.
So these self-repair units and the other cyborgs, they mean they can heal themselves at any time?
Indeed. It is typically a slow process, not much faster than a regular human body heals a wound.
And you didn't think it was a good idea to give me one of these things?
Certainly not. We removed all extraneous options in your case to maximize power and speed, you know.
Healing wounds is extraneous?
Your ability to absorb the nanopaste agent is far more efficient, Raiden. With it, your wounds heal almost instantly.
I know, but...
And a standard repair unit, once depleted, is nothing but an empty shell inside you. Dead weight.
I get that, Doc, but it also means I need to constantly be grabbing them out of enemies.
No, it doesn't. Don't be silly. Simply avoid taking damage and you will be fine.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, that is far from simple.
How is your eye, Raiden?
Great. My sight's perfectly balanced between both eyes. I think my vision's improved, actually.
Quite right. Quite right. Your eye patch houses an artificial compound eye unit. The unit contains over 200 million solid-state image sensors, each with its own individual lens.
200 megapixels, huh? Doesn't sound like all that much.
More than sufficient for the application. A human's optic nerve has only about 1 million fibers, you know. Were we to add more sensors, your perceived vision would not improve. There's only so much modern image compression technology can do.
Huh. So I shouldn't expect any more dramatic improvements to my eyesight?
No, your brain would no longer be able to process any more visual information in real time. Still, compared to previous ACEs, yours has 1.4 times the resolution and a superior compression algorithm.
It may only result in a slight perceived change, but it could wind up making the difference during a mission.
Regrettably, I have not had enough time to develop a new eyeball unit just yet. Thus, I have cut out the ability to deploy the ACE unit separately and simply installed it on a fixed eye patch.
Works for me. If I was using an eye unit, I wouldn't see any better than a regular human.
Ah, but remember, the human eye is so much more than a simple light receptor. They play a vital role in person-to-person communication. Sooner or later, you'd miss it.
Stuff like that's important for some tasks, sure. For this op, not so much. And with less moving parts, the lower the chance of something going wrong. Besides, I like it.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear this.
I can worry about how I look after I complete the mission.
Doctor, you have anything more on these cyborgs?
Only what we went over in your briefing, if you had been paying attention. Standard military-grade cyborgs. MCFC integrated carbon nanotube muscle fibers. Impressive response time and power yield when focused correctly. Most will likely possess extrasensory skills as well. Infrared vision is almost standard these days. They can function without breathing for short periods of time.
Okay. Nothing I didn't already know.
Not all cyborgs you face will be the same, of course. You may notice a range of different capabilities. It all depends on the manufacturer. Muscle fiber and neurotransmission technology is advancing all the time. Of course, you have the very latest science has to offer. A typical cyborg is no match for your equipment.
If you do say so yourself.
No, I realize combat is about more than the equipment. Situational awareness, predictive ability, nerves. One must determine a course of attack or defense and execute on a moment's notice. Reaction time is key. Cyborg enhancements do not change that.
Agreed.
Okay, it seems like that vacuum is gone. I had to mute the mic for a bit. Otherwise, I'll talk to Courtney once. Mainly just to save the game and then we'll just move on. We've been in this menu screen for like over 10 minutes at this point.
Affirmative. Save complete.
You know, our last chat got me thinking about all the problems with PMCs.
Oh? You come up with a solution to all our industry's ills, then?
Yeah. Let's just change the acronym.
That's your solution? Just change the name and change the reputation, eh? To what? I know you like private security provider, but that'd be PSP. Private military security? PMS?
Well, the Montreux document uses PMSC, right? Private Military and Security Company. A bit more comprehensive. And a bit more awkward too, I guess. Seems like it never really caught on.
Yeah, we only use PMSC on contracts, or when we're specifically excluding older style PMCs.
I guess once a name sticks, that's it. Old habits are hard to break.
Right. Besides, I think we're past the point that a name change would do much for the industry's image.
I get your point. Though it did work once before, we don't call them mercenaries anymore, do we?
Every mission this last chapter in the game does have a certain amount of these codex, is what they called it. Because there is a limit to how many of these there are in each chapter / mission, if I recall. If I'm mistaken, then oh well. But regardless, there's a lot of those, and we could easily be there for a good few hours if we tried to listen to them all. Regardless, we're just gonna move on. Might as well grab that. And that. And let's activate this thing. I don't know, listening to the codec chats is definitely very interesting in my opinion. But I can understand why some people would be bored
To get to the plant, first make your way to the hotel.
listening to that for a long time. So yeah, as much as I enjoy listening to those, we should try and like break that up every so often from combat and doing those at least. Might as well grab that. Yeah, I'm guessing we just got there, but I'm wondering if I'm missing anything else. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, let's just move on then. Now we got a checkpoint, alright, nice. We are 35 minutes into this. So I'm not sure if we should continue going or not. I think we still have a good ways to go before this mission's actually finished. But whatever. Just hoping things don't glitch out. Like they have been. That's all we got. Oh, we found someone. 2 summons. And 2 more summons.
That woman.
Raiden, what's happening? Your heart rate spiked.
Answer's gone.
I just dodged a bullet. All right, I'm heading for the refinery.
Yeah, C is definitely the boss for this area. This is actually kind of tough. Might as well ambush him. Please get one of these a kill. Out of these guys here. I thought there was a third guy here. Guess not. I saw there's a guy up there and that thing over there. I guess I like to be thorough. As that's behind there, gotcha. I'm still surprised at how well this playthrough seems to be going. At least when it comes to how well I'm actually playing. as I'm normally not as good as I've been so far. I still find easy to be a good enough of a challenge for me anyway. With this game, I'm more interested in just trying to beat the game, have fun with it, and just try to have a good time. Regardless, it's time to fight. Alright, back up, buddy. I was a little slow on that. I'll be taking that from you. Damn it, I almost had that too. Well, let's back up real quick. Oh, it's defeated? Really? It's actually defeated. Why did I think there was more enemies in this area? Although I think a helicopter was gonna show up at some point. I think so, at least. As there was something over here. If we can get up there. Oh, we have one of these chests. Oh, this is something about this game that just keeps making me come back to it. I love it and I hate it all at the same time. I was hoping that we could eliminate one of them at least. Hey, what the fuck just happened? I couldn't see shit. Ah, he's done. Grab that and open this up. Despite all the technical issues so far, I am having a blast playing this. Again, that just brings me back to the whole... I love this game and yet I hate it at the same time. It just doesn't really make sense. The game's fun and yet there's something about it I can't but hate. Oh, I guess I just have a weird opinion on this game overall.
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice.
Also, es ist optional. I'm probably gonna do great, but so.
Up above you!
I see going down. Nope. Not quite yet. I feel like a part of me almost feels like I just keep getting a little bit better at the game. The more times I replay the earlier stages. I really need to find some more things to suit at it. Because there's a second one here. Oh, just need to wait for them to fire. All that. All that. Yeah, the second one's always the toughest one. I thought I saw something that would get good. I doubt grenades are gonna help us. Since we don't have any. Oh, there he is. Oh, we got a hit in. Come on. Yeah, I always find the second one that more harder one to get rid of. Especially since we don't have anything to use on them. Is there anything else? Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Damn it. Oh, we got 2 hits at least. He'll go down eventually. Just a matter of time. And what the fuck he does. Taking out the helicopters are definitely a bit annoying, I feel. Oh, we got a few more hits in. This is back and forth at this point. Come on. Will grenade even walk? Oh wow, it did. That's something I didn't know. Oh, we have a weapon to use now. Oh, he's down. I didn't know you could actually use grenades on the helicopters. So you learn something new every time you play a game. I definitely feel like that's a true saying though. Every time I play a game, I feel like I'm always learning or noticing something new. Regardless, let's proceed.
Dryden, the cliff is just ahead at the end of the old city. Beyond that is the refinery's backyard.
Frame job
So
slow.
what? It's a sheer drop? The refinery's not connected to the city at all?
No, it was only built 2 years ago. There should be a narrow path around there that leads to the plant. It is protected by a fence, but probably you can cut your way through.
Probably.
Don't get cocky. Most likely it is Desperado running security down there.
And so pretty much we're just right next to the boss fight. I know that's going to take a while. So we're going to actually call it here. I feel like boss fights in this game can take a good while. And I know her boss fight can definitely take a while. At least for me. Regardless, until next time, stay golden.